Two matches into the World Cup play and two draws for the United States, setting up a win or go home scenario in the final group stage match on Tuesday. Let's talk some U.S. men's soccer with New York Post sports columnist Mark Cannizzaro. Mark, how are you doing? Are you enjoying the World Cup this far?
I am. I wouldn't mind being in Qatar, covering it live, but it's. I have a former teammate who's actually over there right now, taking in a bunch of the matches. So I've been kind of living vicariously through him, but I've been writing remotely from here.
I wish I was there enjoying it too. For those who do not know, you heard former teammate Mark used to play some collegiate soccer, and I learned this literally just before we did this video. So, Mark, on Friday, the red, white, and blue, they played to a scoreless draw against England. They are ranked fifth in the world. That would be England. Should U.S. fans be confident after what they've seen from this team through two matches?
I don't know about. I mean, I think they should be confident. I think they should be enthused about what they saw in the England match. In my opinion, I thought the U.S. Team was clearly the better side in the match. They created more dangerous scoring opportunities, and what I liked about it was they kept on the front foot for most of the match and went for it. I mean they weren't going to be able to to get through to the to the group. I'm sorry, to the knockout stage with a win, but I like the way they handled the match, and frankly, I saw an England team that was a little bit unnerved by the U.S. aggressiveness. So I really the problem with the U.S. is they've got to finish. I mean it's the same old problem every World Cup with them. They don't really have any dynamic scorers up front to finish. And I was just throwing some numbers together before. I was doing all the numbers from the World Cup in '94 when we last hosted in the U.S. U.S. has scored 24 goals in 25 matches. I mean, that's
Wow.
just not enough. And especially when you see, guys like, Mbappe, I just finished watching the France match. We're scoring goals at, two per match essentially. So the U.S. is not going to be able to advance against Iran on Tuesday unless they can score a goal or two. So that's the issue. But I really did like the way they played against England. I thought that was a very encouraging display for them on their part.
I think a lot of U.S. fans felt that way, and that takes us to Tuesday, where the United States knows that a win against Iran, the 3 points there, gets them into the knockout stage. So, Mark, this is a high-stress situation for a young squad. So let's go to the negative side here for a second. If they lose or draw, would it mean that U.S. soccer has not advanced in the way that some may believe that it has?
I believe that to be the case. To be honest with you, I mean U.S. fancies itself as a growing soccer nation, and the U.S. did not even qualify for the World Cup in 4 years ago, which was devastating. We have so many good young players on this team. I feel like that growth should come to fruition with the results of this tournament, and that would mean getting into the knockout round. So I think it would be a devastating disappointment if they don't beat Iran. Now the issue with that's a dangerous game, on Tuesday, Dex, because all Iran needs is a draw, so they can literally just lay back and play, play not to lose, basically. And you could make the argument that maybe that helps the U.S. if the U.S. obviously has to come out aggressive, but that sometimes that's a dangerous situation when your opponent only needs the 1 point rather than three.
Not going to be easy. So that brings us to my final question here, Mark. What do you think happens on Tuesday? Will the U.S. be victorious in advance, or will they be one of the 16 teams heading home after group play?
Dex, I think after what I saw yesterday in the England match, I feel like the U.S. is going to win. I feel like this team is good enough, to defeat Iran. Obviously, as I referenced, they're going to have to put the ball in the back of the net, and that is an issue. But they created a lot of chances against England, and England's a pretty good defensive side. So as is Iran. Iran is very, very organized in the back, which makes this match, again, as I mentioned, kind of dangerous. But I came away from watching the U.S. England match thinking that the U.S. if it plays as well as it played against England and puts scores a goal or two. I can't see them losing. I think the Americans advance.
All right, there you go. Got the prediction from Mark Cannizzaro. It is a win or go home situation on Tuesday when the U.S. will battle Iran. We will see what happens and if they get to that knockout stage. That is Mark Cannizzaro, New York Post sports columnist. Mark, thank you for taking the time to talk some soccer with me. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Dex. Appreciate it.